Welcome to the Women Lighthouse podcast, your friendly guide through all the ups and downs of life. We're here to remind you that every woman has the strength to take charge of her journey and make her dreams come true. Each week, we'll share heartwarming stories and helpful tips from amazing women who have faced their own challenges and come out stronger. Tune in, get inspired, and let's start this exciting journey towards achieving your dreams together. The Women Lighthouse, your guide to a brighter tomorrow. You're welcome to the Women Lighthouse podcast. It's great to have you tune in on the show today. So today we're going to be exploring parenting journey, and we're continuing our series where our lovely ladies come to share with us what their parenting journey has been. And I have a very lovely guest with me today. Her name is Mrs. Nkechi Onuoha. She's a microbiologist by training, but she currently works as a disability support worker. And she's a mom of one. She's a first-time mom. So she's going to be sharing with us her parenting journey, what it has been, and basically we're just going to get to know Mrs. Nkechi better. You're welcome, Nkechi, to the Women Lighthouse podcast.
Thank you so much. This is a very, very wonderful privilege and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's get right into our conversation. For how long have you been a mom?
For how long have I been a mom? For the longest time, honestly. I've been a mom to, biologically, I've been a mom to my child for 5 months. But prior to having my child, I nannied my sister's first child. And my sister was a little bit busy. So the nannying was like her growing up, her childhood was basically me. And I believe from birth, you start nurturing a child to what you want that child to be. Whatever you do around that child from birth matters because you never can tell the moment they start understanding what you're doing. So I nannied my sister's first child, and then I also had this auntie and uncle that I nannied their son. And then I was a teacher. And for me, I was a teacher before I started working as a disability support worker. And for me, teaching is more of a ministry and not just a job. So I taught them what they ought to learn in the classroom environment. But I also was intentional about my activities around them, even though I didn't have any formal training before that time. So I made some mistakes. I was a bit harsh in the classroom, and my classroom was an open one. So when I'm harsh, I tell them if I'm harsh because I grew up in, my father was very, very tough. So I think it's rubbed off on me a bit. So I used to tell my pupils then, if you think I'm harsh, if you think I'm being too hard, just let me know. And so when they tell me, I slow down a bit. So I can say I've been a mom for the longest time, but yeah, biologically I've been a mom to my child for 5 months.
Okay, that's really lovely. So you've mentioned a lot of things about your journey having to parent the children that were under your care. So I want to ask, based on how you were parented, how would you say that has influenced your parenting journey?
A lot, because who we are sometimes is a sum total of what of the environment we grew up in. So our environment affects us a lot. Okay, so growing up, I grew up in a Christian home, and my dad really held morals to a high standard. So he taught me integrity. He taught me that my words and my actions should think. So when you tell someone, oh, you're going to do this, you should actually mean it and then do it. And if after making that promise, it looks like you won't be able to fulfill that promise. You have to go out of your way to fulfill that promise. Because sometimes you meet people just once and you never can tell where you meet them again. And so if they don't have a good experience with you, they will hold that thought about you. So in future, when you meet them again, if they are not patient enough, or if they don't have that maturity to give you a second chance, they would relate with you with the previous knowledge that they have of you. So it taught me integrity, it taught me money, it taught me that although I know that his money values sometimes it's a bit skewed because of his own experience, but at least he made me not worship material things. I know he was always drumming into my ears. So and then he also had a day every week that he spends time with God. He has that one day every week. Since I've known my dad till today, he does that every Thursday. He spends time with God alone. He locks the door from morning to 6 p.m. and he doesn't eat. And so, grooming my child now, I'm conscious of those things that my father taught me. And, I'm trying to. I'm trying to teach her those things, even though she's still small, she's still a baby. When I say something to her, or but maybe I talk to her a lot because it's just both of us. We don't watch TV as such. We just watch for maybe 30 minutes and then we turn it off. So when I tell her, "Oh, Kaima, I want to do this," I will come back. I make sure I do it because I don't know. I might think she's not hearing, but people say she can hear, but she can't communicate. So I make sure that I live up to those words. And sometimes my husband says that I can be harsh. So that's, because my father is a bit tough. Excuse me. Because my father is a bit tough. So I have the tendency of being a little bit harsh. But yeah, it's so those things that my dad taught my dad taught me, especially my mom. My mom, my mom. I didn't spend so much time with my mom because she was always off to the market. And even when my dad taught me those stuff, he just calls for meetings. And then from his lifestyle, I learned most of those things from his lifestyle, from what people say about him. And then we usually have these yearly meetings where we pray together, we cook, and then we discuss, we eat. It allows us to say what he's been doing or what they've been doing that we don't like. And even though sometimes he doesn't respond, but in recent years, he's been responding. I've noticed that there was a time I told him he's very rigid. He felt very, very offended. But I started realizing he's a bit flexible. I think he told a few of his friends, and I think they've been talking to him, and so he now understands what I meant by him being rigid. So yeah.
Okay. So when you were expecting your baby, like when you were pregnant, what were some of the expectations you had about parenting? You know how, especially as a first time mom, I don't know if
Mhm.
you did it, but I know I did it, where you would research. Like I had some baby apps, I think Baby Center. You will read and read and read. You will hear so many things. People will also tell you so many things, advise you here, advise you there. What were some of your expectations while you were expecting your baby? Then after you had your baby, were those expectations the same thing as what really happened in the course of your parenting journey?
My expectations. My husband says I'm saying says because he still says it to today. He said, I want the baby to just grow up in an instant. I want to do everything at the same time. So when I was pregnant, I Googled a lot of things, um, because I'm abroad. And yes, it feels like when you're abroad, you have all those informations handy, but it's not really the case. You have to search it out yourself. So Pastor Poju will say going abroad is just a change of location. If you're not a changed person, if you've not matured, if you've not known who you are, when you go abroad, what you're doing in Nigeria, you will repeat the cycle. So I think being abroad, um, it hasn't made the information handy. I have to search it out myself. So I lived in Google a lot. Um, I was expecting this journey to be hard, to be honest, because I'm alone. But I didn't know that parenting my niece and my auntie's son, I didn't know that parenting those kids were grooming me for this phase. It comes very easy, I must say. It's challenging. It's not as if they are not. I've not had days where I felt, oh, I wish this cup can just pass away. Like I wish someone can just come and carry her, take her away for me to have a good rest. But I'm not grumbling. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I'm very happy. When I have to do something for her, which will deprive me of what I want to do for myself, it doesn't make me feel bad. I'm like, oh, don't worry, I'll just do that later. I've heard our first time moms get depressed and all of that. I don't feel all of those things. I'm very happy doing it. And I was expecting her to, just like my husband said, I wanted to do a lot of things at the same time. I want her to do this. I want us to go to the library. I want us to go to this. I want us to go to that and none of that. But I've now known that I have to wait. I really have to wait for her to grow up.
Okay. So what do you enjoy most about parenting your daughter?
I enjoy the fact that she's a blank book and that I know that I'm just a custodian. I don't own her. God owns her. And I'll give her account of her life when I get to heaven. So I enjoy the fact that she's a blank book and I can write what I want to write in that book. And I'm happy. I'm grateful to God that I grew up in a Christian home. And every day when I try to the first few days, I had an expectation that was cut short a bit. I was hoping to read Bible with her every day. So I think I was thinking I will enjoy it, but I didn't know that it's going to be hard work because she can't respond. So I'll get Genesis, I'll read, and I'm describing everything, like telling a story, and someone just there looking at me. That was when she was like 1 to 3 months. But now, because she does all the ahs and the oohs, so when I'm with this, she's like, I'm like, yes, you get what I'm saying. So that one, yes. So back to what I enjoy. So I enjoy the fact that she's a blank book and I can write whatever I want to write on it prayerfully and God helping me. She would live a Christian life. I enjoy the fact that um what does I enjoy? Oh my God, I'm thinking about it now. They've all flown out of my brain. I enjoy breastfeeding her. People say breastfeeding is hard.
Are you serious?
Well, I don't want to stop. Something you need to see me power pumping. I learned something on I think Instagram power pumping. You need to see me power pumping so that she can breastfeed more. There's a way I feel when she's breastfeeding. I can't explain it. And that sound she does. There's this sound she does when she's swallowing and it's flowing. There's something. There's the way I feel. I like it. I don't want to stop. What am I happy about? Yeah. What am I happy about? Oh my God. No, I can't remember. I'll just give you one more. I'll just give you one more. The fact that it made me understand the love of God, honestly.
Mm,
I saw the love of God before now. Oh, God loves me. He came and died for me. He can do anything for me. His love can never, his love is immeasurable.
mm,
But seeing the way my husband relates with my daughter, it's heartwarming, I must say. And sometimes I feel like making a video, but I'm not someone that I don't post online per se. I'm not a social media person. I'm trying to post because I never can tell who is going to get blessed with my videos. But at the same time, I just see myself being restricted. But the way he's also vulnerable in those moments. So I'm not very quick to share. But the way he, oh my God. Like this morning when I was preparing for the podcast. So she woke up and I was going to make her food. She woke up at 5 a.m. And he's not been resting. He's been going to work and he's going to work back to back. And yesterday was his first rest. I didn't have the intentions of giving her to him. I just carried her and I was going to make her food. Listen, I saw someone stretching his arms. I'm like, I thought you were sleeping. Then he said, she's awake. I'm like, okay, I know she's awake. And then he said, I thought you were sleeping. I thought you were sleeping. He said, I know, but she's awake. Let me just carry her small. When you're not making the food, you come and carry her. I said, wow. You know, when the Bible says that God does not sleep nor slumber, this man does not
Yes.
sleep nor slumber. My
Yeah.
daughter. He's awake. He's ever ready to do what concerns her above, he goes above and beyond. Like, I'm like, so this is, if my husband can be like this, then how much more God? So I enjoy to see him at home with her. You don't even want to know when they're alone, the things they do when they're alone. Maybe when I'm at work and he's at home with her. The things I cannot do because I feel like I'm tired is do those things. They go for walks. In fact, honestly, it makes me very happy. So that's really one major thing that I'm very happy about giving birth to my daughter. That's the way it helps me understand my relationship with God. Yeah.
Okay, so now we've talked about what you love. So, what are some of the challenges you are currently experiencing on your parenting journey?
Some of the challenges. Hmm. Hmm. Well, this is just peculiar to people that went to school. This one I'm about to mention. So when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was still studying. So I had to travel 8 hours every week, you know, and it was 8 hours every week, and I had lectures from like morning till 9 p.m. I had lectures twice a week. I had to sleep in another state. Yeah, it was very challenging for me. And even for my husband's support, I would have been a bit depressed, but because of course prayer too. I already knew that I had the chances of feeling depressed. So I started praying ahead of time. I wrote declarations and I started declaring them. And I was conscious of the fact that I could get depressed. So I was open to my husband. Even without even telling him, he knew. Because once I want to do something and it doesn't go the way I planned it to go, it kind of turns me off. I just get discouraged and I just keep it aside to whatever. And that whenever, only God knows when it to be. So he just knew that I had the chances of getting depressed and then he was there. So I think that was the first challenge. Second challenge is I had the sleep deprivation.
Okay.
It can be very hard. It can be very hard. And again, I'm someone that loves to sleep. 1 minute. Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
So, and so, um, I'm someone that I sleep a lot. I love to sleep. I love my sleep. And then, um, giving birth to my daughter, I had to stay awake. So it took me a lot of time to get used to it. It took me a lot of time. And then next challenge. Next challenge. I was always going late for my appointments because it took me some time to understand. It took me some time to understand. Okay, this is when you should. If you're planning to go out with her, this is when you should start. This is how long it will take me to get her ready, and then to get
Okay.
myself ready. Yeah. So that was another thing again. And then other challenges. I'm just on an overdrive. Well, initially, I was just thinking about her. I forgot my husband existed. Just her. Everything
Yeah.
was her. Oh, camera this, camera that, camera. And I'm not like, there is also a God doing this and a God doing that. I said, oh, that's true. Are you here? you know, oh, so you exist. Okay, yeah, that's true. And one thing that nobody really talked to me about was the sex part, you know.
Mm,
Nobody nobody I didn't know that after childbirth it can be hard to have sex again.
mm,
It was like I was shocked. I was wowed. I was very, very I'm still here to get over it, but I'm
mm,
prayerfully working on it. Because it just feels like someone just came and just turned off a button. Wow.
mm,
And my body has, you know, when the body has selective amnesia, my
yeah.
body has chosen to forget that part of life.
Mm,
And it's just work. It's like serious work, tough work, very tough work. But thank God I married a patient man, so he's working with me. It's very hard. And then I had a very traumatic birth as well. So
okay.
um I have an umbilical hernia. So according to the doctor, she said, yeah, she said it made me have muscle separation and then plus childbirth. So the separation has widened a lot more. And
Um,
then according to them again, it's the pelvic floor because I had second degree tear or third degree tear. So because
wow.
everything is just looking daga daga in the
Mm,
eyes of doctors. But I know
mm,
that the God that engineers that part of my body is going to be engineered back. So it's a whole lot of work. It's a whole lot of work. A whole lot of serious work. I don't even know where to start from. So
mm,
yeah. Another challenge is my body, like my weight. I'm weighing 108, man. That's serious weight. I don't even look it. If you see me, you won't know that I'm weighing that much. Because
okay.
I think someone said my body is stoned. I don't know what she as she tried to describe it. I can't describe it now, but she said I don't look like I weigh that much. So
Okay.
I don't even know how to start exercising. I don't know how to start fixing the diastasis recti. I don't know how to start, shedding the weight. I don't know in fact, I don't know what to eat so that my breastfeeding child won't be, malnourished. So it's a whole lot of confusion here and there, but I'll get there, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. One step at a time. Very
Oh,
true.
yes.
Very,
One
I
step at a time.
for me like that. I think that's first okay because when I had my second child, my daughter, so I got a new job. So
Oh,
I think when she was 1 month old was when I got a new job. So imagine
mm,
having I had CS, though I recovered from my CS like within 1 week. So
mhm,
that wasn't even the issue, but just the stress of navigating a new job and taking care of a newborn. My mom was not
mm,
available. My mother-in-law too was not available. It was just my husband. And I also had a son, like I think it was 2 years or so. So that first year of her life, that first year, in all honesty, I don't think I rubbed cream or die. I wasn't taking care of myself. Like I did do makeup. I wasn't just taking care of myself. Like I wasn't rubbing cream. I wasn't doing makeup. Like I was just not just like you're saying for the aspect of sexual intimacy. It was as if
mm,
it was turned off. That was how it was for me too for self-care. Like I was just not interested because I was dealing with a whole lot. So sometimes as mothers, it can be a whole lot having to navigate caring for a newborn or an infant, then caring for your husband. Then you now have to care for yourself. You have to work. It can just be a whole lot. And psychologically, it can really, really do some form of like destabilize us and all. But like you said, you will get there. I think that's the mindset basically, knowing that it's one day at a time, taking baby
mhm.
steps and just easing in to your new normal. So, wow, it's really been lovely having this conversation with you. But before you go, I want to find out what,
Mhm,
as mothers, we seek to
mhm.
be better at what we do. Did you ever experience mom guilt? And if you did, how did you handle it?
Mom guilt. Mom guilt. Okay, let me just remember. Let me just talk about this one. So, no research everywhere. Oh, baby shouldn't watch TV at all from 0 to 2. And even if they must watch 30 minutes, I'm the one that is giving myself this cap of 30 minutes. But from what I saw, they said 0 to 2, you know. So the other day I was cooking. I just got back from work, went to my sister-in-law's place, picked her up, brought her home. I started cooking, and then I had to cook that day. I had to do a lot of things that day. There were so many things I had to do that day, and I think I also had to go to work the following day. So I had a bunch of stuff to do. So I put her in front of the TV and I put on Miss Rachel for her. I was watching it, and my child is someone she likes to play a lot, you know.
Mm.
So I watched that TV, but I could see from her facial expression, she wasn't happy. That's my thought. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I knew it was not a 30 minutes that I wanted her to watch it up to. And I also knew that I was busy. There was nothing I could do. And I need something to keep her engaged. I started feeling bad. That, oh, she's feeling lonely. And oh. And then that's also the place of overstimulation, because sometimes we want to try to keep them engaged.
Yeah.
We over engage them. And
Yeah.
that's not also good for them. So I started
Mm.
feeling guilty. Oh, she's bored, she's lonely. And I was going to go grab her, but thank God something just stopped me and said, you can turn off the TV and let her stay there. You can see her from where you are. And let her play whatever toy she has. You don't have to, at some point in life, she'll be alone. And then she'll have to entertain herself. Will you be there to help her? No. So let her brain start, helping her think of things to do that can make her that can be fun. And so I thought, okay, no worries then. So I just left her to herself. But I felt guilty that, oh, she's bored. And I also felt guilty that, oh, I'm letting the TV do my job. When I'm also doing another job that also benefits her. I can't remember another thing I did earlier. Yeah, she had rashes. Okay, yes. She had rashes, I think 1 month after birth. And I couldn't really place my hands on what was the cause. It looked like dermatitis and heat rashes at the same time, combined. I was feeling maybe, because I didn't use hypoallergenic laundry detergent for her. I bought a random one, because at that time I think we were in the hospital, so and we needed to wash our clothes, and we had not bought the hypoallergenic one. Or no, we didn't even know that we have the hypoallergenic ones. But I know that we have the ones that are, that are not so harsh. So we bought a random one that we felt wasn't so harsh. So I started feeling, oh, are you sure I'm not this thing I bought is not the reason why she started having rashes? Maybe she's reacting to the fragrance of the soap and all of that. And I started feeling, oh, I didn't think well. My mom didn't think well and all of that. And my mom was like, it might not even be because of the fabric detergent. It might just be the weather, because that was winter and we're also entering summer. So the weather was a bit, not very good for her. So he said it might just be the weather. Or it might just be something else and not the softener and not the detergent. But I felt bad. Yeah, I think those are just the two things that I think have happened so far. I can't remember any other one. Yeah.
Before we round up, what
Mm-hmm.
aspects do you want to improve on your parenting?
I don't know for now, seriously. Honestly, I don't know but I feel sometimes that I'm not very equipped to be a mom. I don't know. But how will I also know? Unless the child grows and she can communicate. I need to work on temperament. I can be harsh, I can be tough, I can be very tough. But when it comes to parenting in itself, I don't know for now what I need to work on.
Mm.
But um, the reason why I'm also a bit worried is because before I got married, I thought I'm a very submissive woman, or I thought I would be a very submissive wife, very obedient, a good girl. When I got married, I was very stubborn.
Oh, good.
So now I don't even know what parenting to review. A part of me is parenting to review. So I'm just trying to read stuff, read books, study
Mhm.
anything that I lay my hands on to be sure that when I'm confronted by any situation, I'm equipped to handle it well. Yeah. That's it.
Wow, thank you so much, Nkechi, for sharing. The essence for this series is just to let our listeners know that you are not going through whatever you're going through as a parent alone. And also for those who don't have children yet, just opening your eyes to see certain things that you may likely encounter during the course of your parenting journey. And the truth is, what helps us as parents, no matter what stage of parenting you are, you would never ever feel like you are good enough, because it's a
Mm.
learning curve. While learning, while getting better at it, just like you said, before you got married, like you could assure yourself that you were submissive, but getting married, your eyes to the other side of you, and
It's
that's really
anything.
parenting. It just opens your eyes. Like, I know I struggle with that too. The issue, like you just mentioned, about temperaments and all that. And these are things we're also exploring within our community, within the Women Lighthouse community. We get to deal with certain issues that have to do with womanhood. We look into it, we assess ourselves, we share experiences, and we discuss ways in which we can improve on ourselves as women, as wives, as mothers, professionally, personally, and at large. So I just want to say thank you so much for being vulnerable to share your story with women out there, and for women out there to also be encouraged on their parenting journey. It was great having this great conversation with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Women Lighthouse podcast. We really hope today's episode has given you some great tools, resources, and a boost of confidence to take charge of your journey. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. You can also follow us on our social media handle for even more tips and a wonderful community that's all about supporting your growth. Join us next time for more uplifting stories and encouraging insights. Until we meet again, keep shining bright, stay inspired, and embrace your unique path to a better tomorrow.